What's going on, everyone? Realtor Ryan here. Is the NAR settlement the end of commissions as we know them? Spoiler alert, no. But let's talk about the clickbait. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ryan Mills. I'm a realtor with the M&M team at Real, and I've been helping buyers and sellers with their real estate needs for the last 20 years. If you need to get a hold of me, my contact information is in the description. Before I get into the video, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone who has reached out and said, what is happening with all these headlines, all the news? Are you okay in the real estate industry? Thank you, thank you, thank you for everyone who reached out. It really means a lot to me. So I thought I'd make an emergency video to talk about it and really break it down. So without further ado, let's get right into it. I'm sure you've all seen or heard of these headlines. For instance, CNN is saying the 6% commission on buying or selling a home is gone. Fortune says the huge settlement means you can find a home online without having to pay your buyer's agent. And then from New York Times, there's one that says powerful realtor group agrees to slash commissions. This is all clickbaity. I mean, it's meant to get views. The commission is not gone. It's not going away. It's just different. That's all it is. Sellers still want to sell homes and buyers still want to buy them. It's just a different route to get there. That's all it is. It's going to change the way the future of real estate looks for me. So I'm going to break down what I think is happening, what is probably going to happen in the future. And but before I get into that, I have a little bit of history. I'm coming up on my 20-year anniversary here in May. And for all of my 20 years, and probably a lot longer than that, there's been a standard where the seller pays commission to the listing agent, and then the listing agent takes their commission and usually gives half of it to the buyer's agent. What did this do? This attracted buyer's agents to show their buyers these properties because buyer's agents needed to get paid. Also, it allowed the buyers to not have to worry about this other fee that maybe they wouldn't necessarily qualify for alone if they had to add on this buyer's agent fee. So the sellers were paying for it, then the buyers don't have to worry about it. There's a couple issues with this standard. One, it was steering, basically saying that, hey, buyer's agents are only going to go to the houses with commission and maybe more, and if they didn't have any commission, we're not showing you that house. I've never witnessed it. I've never done it. The second part of this problem is the sellers thought that the listing agent being split with the buyer's agent was kind of mandatory or required, when it was never. At least out here in California, it's always been negotiable. Every commission is negotiable. Anyway, that's how this settlement or this lawsuit came about. And now things are going to change. And here's what's going to change. Here's what we're likely going to see in the future. Number one, obviously this whole co-op, this whole listing agent pays the buyer's agent is going to go away. That's gone. Number two, you might not have known this, but the MLS showed the listing agent's commission guarantee to the buyer's agent. That's not going to happen anymore either. Number three, even though the MLS, the multiple listing service, will not show offers of compensation to the buyer's agent anymore, that doesn't mean that the sellers can't still offer listing agent and buyer's agent a compensation. Number four, and this is probably going to be the biggest change that we're going to see in our future, since listing agents can no longer provide buyer's agent's commission through the listing agreement. That's gone. The MLS cooperation is gone. Buyer's agents still need to get paid somehow because they do a lot of work. They do show properties. They write up extensive contracts, very long contracts. Then they negotiate the contracts. Then they go through escrow, all the inspections, more negotiations. there's a lot of work that the buyer's side actually does. They need to get paid. So since the listing agent is no longer affording that, buyer's agents need to get paid through what's called a buyer's broker agreement. And I think we're going to see a whole lot more of that. In fact, I believe that California is making it mandatory in the very near future. So traditionally, we have the listing agreement, which is between the seller and the listing agent. Now we'll have a buyer's agreement between the buyer's agent and the buyers, and a purchase agreement between the two of them. I think this change is actually for the better for two reasons. One, I already mentioned, buyer's agents will now have an agreement saying that they're going to get paid, and not from the listing agent, but by their own client, by their principal. And number two, this will assure that the buyer has the best representation possible for this transaction. They shouldn't really rely on going to the listing agent and asking them to represent them in the transaction, because the listing agent already has a fiduciary duty to protect the seller. How can the listing agent protect the seller and get you the best deal when you're buying the home? How is that possible? So in the long run, I think this is going to be better for the real estate industry. It clears things up, it's more transparent, and we make sure that everybody has equal representation. Here's my hopeful outlook. Yes, it's different to have a buyer-broker agreement with the buyer's agent's commission, and the buyer is responsible for that commission. But that doesn't mean that we can't negotiate with the seller still to say, hey, will you pay this commission? That's my hopeful outlook. We're still selling real estate. We're going to help people buy and sell properties. We're not going away. Commission is not gone. Don't believe the headlines. It's just a different way of going about it. That's all it is. And probably a better way. Anyway, that's the end of my video. What do you think about all this? Do you think the NAR settlement is better for the real estate industry? Let me know in the comments. If this was insightful, please give me a like, and make sure to subscribe for more real estate information and Simi Valley living. Until next time, I'm Realtor Ryan. Thanks for watching.